What's going on? Week 9 of the Strut Report, everyone. How's it going? HS Strut, Tony Merrill here.
Sean Cook.
And we've been doing this a few weeks now. Hopefully there's a few people out there that have been watching us every week. And we really appreciate everybody tuning in with us every week. It's been a lot of fun.
A lot of feedback. It's been great.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the birds that have been going down and kind of getting to see, as the season's progressed, how the turkeys have changed throughout the season. As many experienced hunters are familiar with what happens throughout the season, but it's really cool to see and hear that firsthand.
Hens start laying eggs and things start slowing down. You kind of got to change up your tactics. So
right, and it sounds like in a lot of areas, gobblers are, if they're still gobbling, it's actually could towards the tail end of the season could be better because hens are going to nest and those gobblers are looking for more hens, so it can actually reap benefits towards the end of the season for you. So,
Southeast has had a great season, and things are kind of slowing down. We've got a couple states up north that are still kicking.
Yeah.
I know, your Florida's, Alabama, Mississippi, it's over there.
Yeah.
But Virginia, we got some good feedback this week. This is the last week of season there, and all-day hunting is now open and ready to go there. Yeah. And HS field staffer Brian White doubled with his dad a couple weeks ago and actually did it again. And Jason, if you want to bring the camera here, we have a picture of Brian White's turkeys here.
Don't tell me we can do cookie.
Yeah, so Brian's a good friend of ours, and a week or two ago he sent us a picture that him and his dad both took birds down at the same time. It looks like they were actually fortunate enough to do that again. So I mean,
heck yeah, congratulations, Brian.
That you couldn't ask for a better season than that.
Especially getting it done with your dad.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
They'll remember those times forever.
Heck yeah. Another HS field staffer, Bruce Wiles, says birds have slowed down on the gobbling, and as hens go to their nest earlier in the morning. But there's been a lot of big long birds going down this week. Since the old Toms were out, without their girlfriends, so they're having to, you might find one interested now that the hens have kind of moved away.
Yeah.
On to West Virginia, Richie Lee Kirk took a bird in Putnam County on 8:30 a.m. It's Friday. Ricky Lee Kirk took a bird on Putnam County on Wednesday of the second week of the season. Said he gobbled the whole way in. HS field staffer Jeremy Myers is tagged out, but he still likes watching him. Says things are slowing down, but you still have a chance there in West Virginia.
Yep. Yeah. So Jeremy's had a great season.
Twister.
It's cool to see that he's actually out there even after season's over in his area, out looking around, and just like us. I mean, we appreciate watching deer even outside the season.
Yeah,
if there's a field full of deer or turkeys right there, we're gonna pull over and watch them for a minute with binoculars. So moving on to Kentucky, we've got some good field staff buddies over in Kentucky that have had some good turkey hunts there too. And Barry Darnell commented on the Strut Report this week. He said that he didn't fill his tags this season, but he had some good time and some good hunts in the field. He said he didn't work too hard. He didn't get up at the in the middle of the night and get out there in the dark. He said he slept in, set up the decoys about 10 a.m. and did a little bit of calling, which actually brought him in a tom at about 60 yards at 11:30. So kind of mid-morning to midday time. And he also actually had 2 more come in at 1 p.m. So sounds like the midday hunting in Kentucky was pretty exciting for Barry towards the end of the season there. So it's kind of what people talk about. If you don't get on them first thing in the morning off the roost, it might be a few hours until those turkeys get done with their hens and then start responding to calls a little bit better.
A little bit.
So Jake Hyman, HS field staffer in Kentucky, said his dad harvested a bird during the last weekend of the season, last Saturday in Kentucky. So they came straight into HS Strut decoys, and actually we've got a picture of his dad as well right here. He's got the decoys in the background. You can see, looks like they had the Jake set up right behind the hen in the breeding position there. So congratulations, guys! It's cool that you were able to hunt together and get it done right at the end of the season. So as far as the Southeast goes, like you mentioned, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Southeast is where those seasons start to come in first in Georgia and Alabama and Florida. So a lot of those seasons are closed. Florida's closed, Alabama's closed.
I think this weekend is the last weekend in Georgia. So if you're in Georgia, it's your last chance. Get out there and try to get you a bird.
That's right, and don't be afraid that the season's been open for a long time, thinking the birds might be done. You guys don't know this, but I actually slipped out this morning, did a little bit of scouting of myself, and actually heard 3 birds gobbling this morning. So there is hope. Get out there and get after it. Even public land. A lot of those birds haven't been harassed yet, and a lot of people are actually probably not going to be hunting at the end of the season here. Maybe they're focused on fishing or something like that. So guys that have filled their tags already won't be out there. So get out there and get after it if you've got a tag to fill. Sean, why don't you take us on into the Midwest region?
Well, the story for the Great Lakes the past couple weeks has been the flooding up there, and it's kind of affected the hunting. But it sounds like it's kicked back up this week. And Roger Eppard took a bird yesterday, and I think here you want to show him that picture, Tony?
Sure.
JC, I know Tony printed these pictures pretty microscopic, so we're having to do a little extra work behind the scenes here.
Hey man, it's all right. It's all right.
So Roger said he heard a lot of vocal birds and saw 4 toms with a bunch of hens right away in the morning. He finally got one to come in at 10 a.m. and had some success and made a good shot. So congratulations, Robert. Kansas. On to Kansas. Steve Ernie says activity is winding down, but the season continues through the month of May. Judging by the picture of 2 down gobblers he posted, Steve has had a good season. So on to Missouri, season's over, but HS field staffer Heath Wood has had a great year. He took 2 youth hunters out who both got birds. Even after major flooding all week, he was able to tag out 2 days last weekend on Friday and Saturday. So great year, Heath.
Yeah, we actually talked to Heath a couple weeks ago and had him call in, and he was telling us about his youth hunts and telling us about what his game plan was for his hunt over the weekend. And that's actually when they started having all that flooding.
Yeah.
And a lot of the areas that guys were planning on hunting were underwater, and it makes it tough because it scatters out those birds, and it covers up some of those nests that were laid by the hens. So, which actually can be interesting because if the nest gets destroyed, those hens might be out looking to get bred again. Yeah. So,
Tommy Harmon out in Kansas said him and his boy both killed back-to-back days last weekend, so they were hammering like crazy. So sounds like it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Where'd you say that was?
Kansas.
Kansas, cool.
And Nathaniel Melton said from Wisconsin that his brother and his dad had a really, really good hunt right before the full moon. And he said it's actually the most gobbling they've heard in a long time.
Great activity.
So it sounds like it's still pretty good up north, still pretty good, out in Kansas and the Plains areas. So
yeah,
awesome.
Cool. And that just goes to show you that just kind of depends on the exact property you're on, what part of the state, because I think some folks in Kansas told us that it's kind of winding down, but there you go right there. It sounds like there's a lot of gobbling going on in their area anyway, so it can vary pretty well. So, moving on through the Midwest area, we go over to Ohio. James Clark told us that he took a bird last Saturday in southern Ohio. I believe we have a picture of him here, and that's a kind of a cool picture. He's got it laid up on a pallet there. Looks like a
great fan on it.
Looks like a big old gobbler. Beautiful bird. Took it last Saturday, and he said they were really vocal until they hit the ground. So, which that's pretty common. They'll gobble on the limb, and they might gobble a couple times when they get
slow down later in the morning.
Yeah. And then in Indiana, Philip Moore tagged out on the opening weekend. I'm not sure when opening weekend was in Indiana. I think it was last week or two. Congrats to you, Philip, and hopefully you can make it happen for your fiance too.
Try to seal the deal.
That's great. And no matter if they're a child or an adult, taking somebody out on their first hunt and trying to get them to get their first bird or deer for that matter is a really cool experience.
Awesome. So I think that might bring us into the Mideast.
Yep.
New Hampshire, Bobby Sholin, who we actually have a picture here, Tony, and looks like a great bird, had 2 toms come in hot off the roost in a big piece of timber, and only 1 bird walked away. So had some success, and great bird there, Bobby. In Maine, Central Maine has been good. Good number of birds, but gobbling has been low, possibly due to a lot of rain. You can usually count on 3 to 4 gobblers on the limb, or 3 to 4 gobbles on the limb, and then none after fly down. So kind of the same story as the Mideast there. Just real hot in the morning, gobbling, and then kind of dies off. But don't give up on them. I mean, there's plenty of birds that come in silent and just surprise you.
Yep.
Pennsylvania, James Scott says the northwest part of the state has been very vocal this year. And Josh Pollock shot a bird in 34 degrees on Monday morning, and we have a picture of that. I mean,
It's a cool morning to be turkey hunting.
yeah, especially this late. Looks like he got it with a bow too. That a boy. Yeah.
Like to see those bow kills.
Oh yeah, congratulations there.
Yeah, that makes it 10 times tougher and 10 times the accomplishment once you finally get a bird down. Because really, you have such a small kill zone in that bird to get your arrow into, so it takes a lot of patience, persistence, and practice with shooting your bow to be able to do that. So congratulations to you. Moving on through the Mideast area, move up to New York. Elmer Ross, which we have a picture of him as well. He says there's been a lot of gobbling and strutting in the western part of New York State. Even for such a rainy opening week, sounds like they've had a lot of rain there as well. Seems to be a moral of the story when it comes to the Northeast and the Midwest. Said his daughter harvested a nice bird on May 6th with her 20 gauge. So, congrats to you all. Congrats to you and letting your daughter be able to pull the trigger on that one. In lower New York, it sounds like the colder weather has made them not gobble a whole lot. So it's interesting, you know, we are in spring still here in early to mid-May, and those northern states, it's still kind of in that time of the year where you just never know what kind of weather you're going to have. It could be 70, 80 degrees, or you could have a cold front move through with a lot of rain and
Slow things down a bit.
Yep, that's why it's hunting. You just sort of have to adapt with the situation you're in and make decisions and just enjoy your time in the woods, even if you don't necessarily take anything home with you. Massachusetts HS field staffer Bruce Wiles, his brother Randy, who's in Massachusetts, scored the other day. Massachusetts is on fire, he says. Birds are gobbling great, and there's a really good number of birds there. It's just incredible. What's tough, though, is catching birds before they make it into people's backyards. He said apparently they like to hang out in backyards there and are a completely different animal than other places you might hunt them, such as in Bruce Wiles' area there in Virginia. So
you got to make do with the land you have.
That's right. So you just try to don't get too close to the swing set when you're hunting birds. And then closing it out here, let's talk about the state of Maryland. Yeah. So, buddy Darren over there, Darren Brown, he's had a great week when turkey hunting over there. He's had 2 real short hunts because he's gotten there early right before sunup. They're gobbling right off the bat.
Scored early,
and within half an hour, it's game over. So
it's awesome when you can get in and out and get the job done.
That's right. It's awesome. It's almost like, gosh, I wanted to hunt more. Yeah. I didn't get my money's worth. But no, you can't complain. Bird comes in, gonna make it happen. So congrats to you, Darren. That's awesome, dude.
I don't think we have a picture here.
Nope, don't have a picture of that one.
Just want to get closer, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't need to see that beard any better than we can. But that kind of closes it out for week 9. We appreciate everybody talking to us again.
And so, Tony, we have been keeping track of our regions. Based on regions and feedback. At the end of the year, we're gonna pick one lucky person from the winning region.
Yep.
And is Southeast still out front, or has the Great Lakes Midwest caught up?
So, Great Lakes and Midwest has really started to gain quite a bit of ground in the last few weeks as those seasons have really started to open and people have gotten into it. However, Southeast is still in the lead. So, folks that are out there hunting and out there talking turkey, be sure to comment on the Strut Report and. If your region wins, you're going to be entered into that giveaway for a chest pack.
Fully loaded chest pack.
Fully loaded chest pack. Pan calls, box calls, locator calls.
Yeah, you'll be ready to go for next season.
Okay.
That's right. You won't have to go to the store when it's time. You'll be ready to roll.
So with most of the Southeast, states closing out here soon in these next couple weeks, that Great Lakes can make a push. We got a comment.
Yeah, Darren Brown just commented.
Uh-oh.
Don't
say it.
Wanted to let Tony know he needs a haircut.
He's getting kind of buzzy there.
Getting a little bit bushy. Need to tighten her up a little bit. I appreciate you looking out for me, Darren. I can always count on you for that.
Well, we have a winner this week.
Who is it, Sean?
Who is it?
Who is it?
It is Brian Thompson. And so you will get your choice of, or not your choice, but you will get a Strut hat and your choice of a HS Strut call. So contact us, Brian. We cannot send messages from the from the Facebook directly, and you don't want us messaging you on our personal accounts.
No.
So
You
send
don't want
us,
Tony Merrill reaching out.
So send us a message, and we will get you your gear.
Yep. So send us a message on the HS page, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So, if anybody has any questions or comments, be sure to send us a message on the page, or comment on any of our posts. We appreciate all the HS supporters out there, and we got a couple more weeks left of the Strut Report here.
2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks. So we'll go through week 11. Next week will be week 10. But stick with us here, and we're really looking forward to seeing what happens here towards the end of the season.
Oh, by the way, speaking of chest packs, Darren just commented that he appreciated us sending him a chest pack. He's already switched all of his gear over and running the chest pack now. So
awesome! I can run and gun, man. He'll be ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
And again, be sure to get in on this so you can win your fully loaded chest pack for yourself. So, got anything else for us, Sean?
And that wraps it up.
So what's next week? Week 10?
This will be week 10.
Week 10 next week. If you want to get in on that call and hat giveaway, be sure to share Week 10 Strut Report post, and you'll be entered to win. That'll go up first thing Monday morning, and we'll be back here again a week from now, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, for the Week 10 Strut Report summary.
Last 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's right. We will see you then. Tony Merrill.
Sean Cook.
We're out.